Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. As people start to kind of come in now that our live has started, I'd love to invite everyone to put in the comments where you're tuning in from. If you have a current therapy animal, or if you're considering becoming a therapy animal team, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about your partner, what kind of animal they are, their name, anything like that, we'd love to know. As you can see, we are joined by one of our non-canine therapy animals today. George, the therapy rabbit, is with us. So if you've got a non-canine species, we'd love to hear about it, but also we love to hear about all those dogs and cats as well. Drop their name, their breed, their species in the chat while we're waiting to get started. We'd love to hear from you. So delighted to be here today. My name is Margaret Callahan. I'm the Chief Mission Officer with Pet Partners. One of the best parts of my job is being able to talk to and interact with some of our fantastic volunteers. And I couldn't be more delighted to be joined today by Heather Hauser and George and some other assistants that you'll meet soon. Heather has been a volunteer with Pet Partners since 2018 with several different animals, not just George. I'll let her tell you a little bit about that. But we are here today with George, the Flemish giant rabbit. And Heather, would you like to tell us a little bit about sort of how you got started with Pet Partners, and tell us a little bit about George too?
Sure. So I started in 2018 with Rapunzel, my long-haired guinea pig. I went on to have 3 more guinea pigs that I used. Rapunzel and her sister Belle. They sadly passed away in 2020. So, and the other 2 guinea pigs kind of started getting older in age. So that's when I got George. And we've had George for a little over a year. And he's a Flemish giant. And he's my first bunny. But they're a lot like guinea pigs. So it was an easy transition. So George has been a therapy pet for a year. He started last November, and he's doing great. People love him, and they all say he's the biggest rabbit they've ever seen.
Well, that sounds about right. George does have quite a presence there. Are there places that George in particular likes to go? Are there places he likes to visit, or groups of people he likes to work with? Or does he love everyone?
He loves everyone. Some schools he can get a little overwhelmed if there's a lot of noise. Mm-hmm. We go to St. Elizabeth Hospital. There's a few locations that we go to, a few nursing homes on a regular basis, and some reading programs as well. And then every once in a while, they'll have businesses have stress relief events, and we'll go to those as well.
Well, George makes a wonderful addition to our therapy animal menagerie that we have at Pet Partners. Just to remind people who may have just tuned in, Pet Partners registers 9 different species of animals, dogs, of course, being the most common, but we do also have wonderful therapy animals like rabbits, like guinea pigs, domesticated rats, these sort of pocket pets, although George doesn't fit in anyone's pocket, but these smaller, wonderful pets that can still be really amazing therapy animals. Excuse me. Well, one of the reasons that we have Heather and George with us today is because we wanted to celebrate something that you may not realize is something that's recognized in December. December is Read a New Book Month. And so that can be reading a new book to you, reading an old favorite with new eyes, maybe trying a new genre, something like that. We know that reading and literacy helps all of us live rich, full lives. And sometimes, now as we're approaching solstice, and it's very dark for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we're looking at, very, very short days and long nights. It's the perfect opportunity. Curl up with a new book. And one of the things that Pet Partners recognizes, because we are a research-based program, is there is evidence that demonstrates that when people, particularly children, read aloud to animals, it enhances their literacy. It helps them become better readers. Of course, George, he's got all those ears, but he only listens. He never gives feedback. He won't correct anybody if they mispronounce a word. And so reading to a pet, whether it's a therapy animal or whether it's just your household pet, is a great activity, particularly for kids who may be on a holiday break over the winter break. So we want to encourage everyone to explore the We Are All Ears page on the Pet Partners website. If that's something you're interested in doing with your children, there's some great resources there that you can download to help encourage everyone to observe Read a New Book Month, which is December. So one of the things that we're going to do is have Heather's two children do a little reading for George. We are very fortunate to have a book available to us that was actually written by a fellow Pet Partners volunteer, Christie Lindemann, called Sully. And so we're going to be doing a little reading. Would you like to take an opportunity to introduce your readers, Heather?
Yes. Come on, girls. This here is Rose, and she is 10 years old. And this is Anna, and she's 7, and these are my 2 daughters.
Well, we're really glad you're here with us, Rose and Anna. Thank you. And we will get everything started here.
Make sure George doesn't chew on the book.
Sully, written and illustrated by Christie Lindemann. When Sully was young, Turkey was his home. He lived in a forest and spent his days alone. He longed for someone to love him, and wished with all his heart he would somehow find a family to give him a fresh start. One day he was lying in the grass. A busy road was near. His ears pricked up when a car slowed down and he saw a woman appear. The woman's name was Emma. When he
George. He wanted to turn the page.
Emma, when she saw Sully, she could tell that he seemed lonely and needed a home. She decided to help him find a family of his own. Emma walked to Sully to see if he was okay. She held out a treat so he would not run away. Emma saw that his eyes were tender, and on his head was a scar.
Hold on, I think you want to read this page, Anna?
No.
Yeah. Remember?
She gently slipped a collar on him and walked Sully to her car.
Amen.
To the clinic they went to get Sully checked out. The vet looked in his ears, rubbed his soft snout. Sully is healthy, the nice doctor said, and patted sweet Sully on the top of his head. You will have a good life, Sully, Emil said with a grin. Sully's friend Devin flew with him on a jet. When they landed, he stretched when they met the nicest people yet. Welcome to Ragdom, Sully. We're really glad to have you here. We are going to find you the perfect family. Everyone cheered. Sully was so happy he could not believe his luck. His life had sure changed. He was now a ragdom pup. Christie saw Sully and knew that she could offer him a loving family. Sully was adopted and cherished from the start. He made everyone smile with his huge heart.
George. Sometimes George likes to turn the page. Okay, George.
He just grabbed the cover instead of the page. Since Sully loved everyone he met, Christie thought he would make a great therapy pet. They could visit different places and spread lots of cheer. Their training began, which took them a year.
Yeah.
Wait, but
not that part. This part.
The therapy test day arrived finally, and Christie was a little nervous inside.
Good job.
Sully met new people and they petted him gently. He walked on the leash, watching Christie intently. Sully sat, he stayed, he even laid down. He passed by a dog without making a sound. He ate a treat and enjoyed being brushed. He ignored his favorite toy and loved being touched. You and Christie have been practicing a while. The evaluator told Sully with a great big smile. You have passed your test, and now people will see what a wonderful therapy dog you will be. Sully spreads joy to everyone he meets. He likes to do tricks and he gets lots of treats. People smile when they see him and gently rub his ears. Sometimes they are sad and his fur catches their tears. He listens to children read books, encouraging them to do their best. He calms the fears of hospital patients so they can heal and rest. Sully's life in the forest is a distant memory. He has all the love he needs and is as happy as can be.
Good job, girls.
Terrific reading, Rose and Anna. That was awesome. Well, George didn't come from Turkey. He has gotten to be here, but it was fun to hear a story about Sully, the therapy dog, who came all the way from Turkey to the United States to become a therapy dog. Thank you for reading for us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh, my goodness. So now tell us a little bit about George before we wrap up. You know, obviously a wonderful household pet for people who maybe haven't had house rabbits before. Do you consider George kind of like a dog? Does he get to move around the house, or is couch time something usual for George?
He actually has, so we have two dogs that I don't trust with him. So George has half of our family room that's his, and he has a couch he sleeps on every night.
Oh.
With his little bunny wife, Sweetie Belle. Who's not a therapy rabbit and probably never will be.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of wonderful animals that are wonderful pets for our family, but don't quite make the therapy animal cut.
George loves everyone, and George is litter box trained, so he goes in the litter box, and it makes him. He's a pretty easy guy to keep.
That's so fantastic. Well, I want to thank Heather and Rose and Anna and George for being with us today. For any of you who joined us for the reading of Sully by Christie Lindemann, if you have any questions, about George, about pet partners, if you're considering becoming a therapy animal team, if you're interested in the We Are All Ears program, you'll see we'll put the link in the chat. But we're really delighted that you were here to join us today. We hope that you take advantage of Read a New Book Month this December. And if you've got a household pet, try reading with them. My guess is they'll enjoy it too. All right. Well, that brings our live to the end today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we wish everyone a very happy December, happy holidays. And we look forward to doing some more wonderful events like this in 2023. So happy New Year's to all of you.